Hello, outdoor explorers, my nature lovers. I'm starting with a look at the sky today because it is pretty overcast, but that doesn't make me sad. You know, if there's rain coming for the garden, that's a fabulous thing. And I have been wanting to do a special quest in the garden, and because it's overcast and it's not quite as bright, it won't bleach out what we're going to be looking for, and that is colors in the garden. But before we get started, I want to talk to you about something that I think you might want to do. And that is, I think it would be nice if you could have a journal of some kind. You might already have a science journal. You might have a diary that you keep. You might have a notebook around. Or you could even just have a stack of paper that you staple together, maybe make the cover for it or not. But when you're out observing, particularly in the garden, making any observations, but particularly in the garden, it's good to have a place to take notes, maybe take measurements. We'll talk about making sketches later, because you think you're going to remember details, but you never really remember them as well as you think you are. So it's better to have something. This journal I really love. It was from my friend Jill, and I'm using it especially for our adventures in the yard. So what I've done is I organized things that I want to talk about with you. That was how I started. And then I started jotting down notes of some of the birds that I see in my yard, some of the video clips I've made. Same thing with the ruby-throated hummingbird, the Everglades marsh rabbit, the butterflies that we're going to be looking at, a cherry tree that's in the back. These are all video things and adventures that we'll take together. But for today, I want to take you on a garden color quest. Can we find all the colors of our rainbow in our garden? You remember those colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Violet's another name for purple, of course, and indigo is kind of a mixture between blue and violet. So what I'm going to do is, I won't be able to film and do it at the same time, but what I will do, and if you would like to do the same thing, once you set up your journal page and you start looking at the video, you can pause it. It can be paused if you see a color. And then let's say, well, right now we're on a red table, but let me just look out over here. See, I see red on those flowers right there. Those desert roses are red. So I'm going to make a tally mark because I have found a red flower. Now, it's a good idea when you're out working with your journal to have a couple of pencils, sharpened pencils, so you don't have to leave and go to sharpen it if your pencil should break. If you have a mechanical pencil, that would be good too. Check out this pencil. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so what you'll do is we'll start looking. Now, you might see a color more than once. Hint, hint, yes, you will. Some colors you will see more than once. And sometimes you'll see a shade of a color, different shades of colors. You know, there's this thing called the color wheel. And on the color wheel, there are different shades. We have warm colors and we have the cooler colors, but then there are variations in between. There might be something that's reddish orange, or kind of a golden yellow, or a pale pastel yellow. In any case, you use your judgment and you can put it into a category here, and then you can even make another quest out of it to see if you can find shades in between. There might be some flowers also that have more than one color on that same flower, so you can count it for both, make a tally mark for both. And do you know how, you remember how we make tallies to make it easier for counting? We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then, let's say we have 5 more. It's easy to count 5, 10. Because we like to count by fives. That's pretty easy. So that way you don't have to write the numerals down. Instead, make some tally marks. So we are going to get started. I'm going to start at one gate, and we're going to walk all the way through the yard. And then we're going to stop at the other gate. We'll go out the door, maybe even go to the front yard. We'll see. Okay. Have fun. Happy hunting. Okay, I bet everybody can see that the first color we're going to find is green, and lots of it. And on another adventure, we will take a look at leaves and the different colors of leaves and the shapes of leaves and so forth. But I think everybody can put a tally for green. All right, let's just start looking at colors. beautiful orchid. Remember, we said some flowers are going to have more than one color. Be sure you count them all. And remember, you can hit pause if you need to. We didn't talk about white, did we? We didn't put that on our chart, but you know that white is the combination of all the colors. So you might want to make a special notation for white. Okay, let's keep looking. This is a shrimp tail plant because that little white part that comes out looks like a shrimp's tail. The hummingbirds love this plant. You can hear cardinal. That's a nice background while we're hunting. A lot more green. We're just looking at blossoms. We're counting blossoms for color because there are other things out here that have color. We want to stick with the flower blossoms for today. This is a plant called lantana. And when I was a little girl, we used to take those and pretend they were bouquets. Little tiny bouquets. Oh, cardinal, thank you. You're so beautiful. It's a beautiful background. Oh, there's another one. Okay, let's keep hunting. Another blossom. Now this is a nice mixture of purples, but there are also some other colors in there that you can see. I was talking about shades of color. It's a good way to see the different shades. Oh, lots of green. Lots and lots of green. But I see a beacon of purple up here. Oh, before we go there, yellowish. It's not a blossom, but these aren't blossoms either. The blossom is actually that little thing in the middle. Crazy. Beautiful purple and golden yellow. And our bromeliads we looked at the hummingbird. Here we go. Let's see more blossoms. Oh, here, let's look at our beautiful pink. Now, pink was not on that chart either, but maybe you can figure out where to put that. These little orchids have also more than one color. Little daisies. And the hummingbirds like these plants too. They stick their beak down in there. And the salvia, they love those too. Here. You may have to pause here and there. So here's our butterfly weed. That's over here. Nasturtiums. Okay, what kind? Lavender. Right. Right here by the waterfall. These are interesting because when before they open, they look kind of pinkish on the end. And there's also yellow inside there. Once they do open, well, let's check out. Our lily pad blossoms. The firecracker flower. Red. Look in the middle, the center where the pollen is. You're going to probably have to stop this video a few times. Kind of a coral color, right? Some red salvia. Little tea roses. This plant is called tickweed, and you'll see in a video, another video I'm going to post, the bunny loves to eat that. The flower blossoms. One of my favorites right here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Another hummingbird favorite. There's lots of this one. Really take a close look at that flower. This one called Nixora. Let's go. This is a different bromeliad. That blossom. Greens and purples and pinks. And another bromeliad blossom. This plant has a funny name. It's called a skullcap. I don't know why. But it has a beautiful blossom. Some more salvia. And I don't think there are any new... Oh yeah, this is another flower. We haven't seen it yet. It's probably yellow geraniums. And I think the pentas. Yeah. A couple of colors here. And here's some more bromeliad blossoms. And you look down inside, there's even some color down inside. This one's fading a little, but you can see what colors it had. And finally, ta-da, moss rose. It has a couple of colors in there, and one little blossom. It's having trouble opening today because it's so overcast. Remember, this one needs sunshine. It's one of our solar-powered plants. It's doing its best. It's one of my childhood favorites. The vinca, periwinkle. Some more desert rose. They come in a variety of colors. Beautiful. And here is the red shrimp plant. More common than the yellow shrimp plant that you saw earlier. Look at the different colors it has on it. Beautiful. And over here, there's some more desert rose. More colors. This is a mandevilla. And its cousin, the pink mandevilla. I think we have seen it all. One more. The oxalis. And look at the flowers. They kind of change color. They're lavender at first, and as they get larger, they fade to a really pale lavender, almost white. I hope you enjoyed our color adventure out in the garden today. We'll be back another time to take some other looks at special things about our garden. Until next time.